Hello everyone. We are officially in the Shelley era, so great news. We got about almost 500 stake pools registered in a little over 48 hours, so that's good. There are some concerns with pools registering with very low fees and some stake pools not getting enough delegation, which is yes, it's a problem. I'm not going to go into that now. My general advice for now is, just focus on yourself, focus on what you can do, and don't worry about things that are out of your control. This is all still new, so my suggestion is just go with it for now, and then we'll see what happens. In this video, I wanted to create like more of a comprehensive guide to building a stake pool from scratch on the mainnet. The process is pretty much the same as with the mainnet candidate videos, but a lot of people have asked me to do a mainnet video, so I will do it and have kind of everything in one place for future reference. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers the introduction, and now we can go through the steps of what's needed to set it up. So I'm going to use a cloud server to set it up, and so the first thing I want to do is just configure the firewall to permit only my SSH connection and the node port that we're going to use. Then okay, there could be like a in-between step here just to update the operating system and stuff like that, but actually I think that's all covered in this step as well, which is the prerequisites script from CNTools that's going to build our whole directory and file structure and download some scripts that we'll use later on. After that, we're going to get the mainnet config and topology files that we'll use to sync with the mainnet blockchain, which is now in the Shelley era on epoch 208. And yeah, we need to build the Cardano-node, so we'll use Cabal to do that as before. Then after we sync the node to Shelley era, we can use CNTools to create a wallet. And then this step is obviously different from the previous videos because in this step we, on the mainnet we need actual funds. There's no faucet, there's no test ADA. It's real ADA now. So we have to get some funds into the wallet we just created, and then we can use that to register our pool and generate our metadata, which we need to upload to our pool website. And after that, it's just starting the producer with the relay topology. So we want our producer to be connected only to our relays, and then the relays connected to the rest of the network. So we'll need to edit the topology for that. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it, and let's get started. So I'm here in the server I created on DigitalOcean. If you want help with that, I will refer you to one of my first videos, which was called Building a Cardano stake pool from Scratch on Shelley testnet, in which I cover even creating the droplet on DigitalOcean. In this video, I'm just going to go straight into it. So the first thing we said is we want to secure our connection a bit by activating the firewall. So the DigitalOcean servers are by default firewall disabled. So we want to enable it, but if we just enable it, we might get thrown off our SSH connection. So we are going to first allow the SSH. So sudo UFV allow protocol TCP from any to any on port 22. That will be our SSH connection. It defaults to 22. We'll talk about security in another video. For now, we'll just leave it on port 22. So the next thing we also want to allow, besides the SSH, we want to allow our node port. So I decided I'm going to run the port on 6001. So I'm going to run the same command for port 6001. Okay, that's where my node is going to run. So those are the two rules added, so we can do sudo UFV enable to activate the firewall. It's going to ask us, are you sure, because it might throw us off the connection, but we added the rule, so we're fine. And there we go. Now the firewall is active, and that's the first step covered. The next step we mentioned was building our file structure. So throughout this video we're going to use CNTools, and CNTools has a great script that creates the file structure for us, the prerequisite script. So it's going to create a file structure that looks like this, and that's a files directory for the config and topology files, database for where the blockchain is stored, which is going to be empty until we sync the node, logs for logs, private for our pool and wallet files, scripts for all the scripts that they created, which are all amazing, and sockets for the node sockets from Cardano-node. The first thing we'll do is run that prerequisite script. So we're going to create a directory, and you can just follow along the website. The instructions are pretty clear, but I'll just copy the commands here without the comments. So we're going to create a temporary TMP directory for the prerequisite script. We're going to fetch that script. We're going to chmod make it executable, and then we are going to run it. And then the last thing is to source -rc, which is going to allow us to run the commands like cabal and stuff that the prerequisites configured. This is basically equivalent to logging in and out of the session. So yeah, I think we can just copy them all at once and run that. Now this is going to take some time because it's a completely new build, as I mentioned. So I'm just going to switch off for a bit until that's done. Okay, the file structure is done, the prerequisite is completed, but it looks like the bash rc sourcing the bash rc did not run, so we're going to just run that one, and now we should have cnode variable that can take us to the home directory, and that's opt cardano cnode. So yeah, if we look at this, these are all the directories that we discussed in the file structure, so everything works. And now we need to get the topology and configuration files for mainnet. Okay, why? Because let's just clear this. Because the CNTools was configured for mainnet candidate testnet, lastly mainnet candidate 4. So by default, it gets the mainnet candidate 4 files. So if you would run the CNode now, you would connect to the mainnet candidate 4 network, and that is not what you want. So we need to run this block of code, which is just getting. Okay, I'm gonna go to a new here now, and so that was prerequisites. Now mainnet config topology files, and I'll just paste this in. It's not very pretty, I guess. If I make it a bit larger, I don't want to make it too large so that it blocks things, but hopefully you can see that. But it's just copy paste from the website. So it gets 4 files. It gets the Byron Genesis, Shelley Genesis, topology for mainnet, and config.json, which CNTools uses. So it's an important file. Yeah, so we're going to take that, copy it in. That's going to download the file. It's going to take some time because for some reason the requests take a bit to get processed. So once that's done, we are going to move on to building the Cardano-node, the software. So the last one, just hit enter, and that's it. That's the 4 files. If we go into ls files, we see that we have all the files that we need. And if we inspect so in files topology, then we'll see that the topology is relays for the Cardano mainnet. So that's that step done. We got the files now, and we can move on to building the node from the source. So we go to node and CLI. Building the node from source includes getting the GitHub repository from RHK, the Cardano-node repository. So building Cardano-node. First, we're going to create. Actually, the Git directory was created by prerequisites, the script. We're going to go into that folder. We're going to clone the repository, and we're going to just go into that folder, as that's where we'll be working from. So that's copied in here. We'll do this, clone the repository, go into that, and here we see all the files for Cardano-node. And now we have to pick which version are we going to build. And for mainnet, we are currently using 1.18.0. So first we need to fetch the tags. Okay, so we make sure we have the branch. And now git pull, in checkout 1.18 and git pull, I think it's not going to work, but let's just fetch and check out first. So fetching, we check out to 1.18, that works fine. And now they say git pull, but yeah, we're currently not on a branch, we're detached in a detached head state. So what we can do instead is git pull origin master, So we pull from the master branch, and that should bring us up to speed. Okay, that's so we're in 1.18 now. If we do git status, we'll see 1.18, so that's fine. Okay, let's clear that. And now there is another script that builds the node for us, which is cabal build all from CNTools. Just make sure you echo this thing because it's kind of a prerequisite for cabal to be able to build the node. And so I'll just copy that in, echo that, and run the script. This is now building the node from the source code. It's going to take some time because it has to compile all the code and build everything. So it will take 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depends on the system. But yeah, I'm gonna shut off again, keep this running, and then fast forward it in the video. And yeah, I'll be back once it's completed. So the Cardano-node is built. We can check the version, Cardano-cli version, and we got 1.18, so that's good. We'll clear this, and the next step is to sync the node up to Shelley era. So that will be epoch 208. Yeah, so to do that, we'll start our passive node. We'll go into scripts, and so in the notepad it can be sync the node, and we'll have cd cnode home /script, and then we will nano the cnode.sh. I typed something wrong. Oh, sorry, I'm not in the CNTools directory. I'm in the Cardano-node scripts directory. Okay, so now we're in the right one. Here we have cnode.sh, and I'm just going to change the port to 6001 because that's the one I opened. Not that it would matter, actually. We would still be able to connect and pull things, we just wouldn't be able to send it. So that's fine. Save that, and I'm going to run it in a multiplexer. So I'm going to open a session, tmux session, and I'm just going to start the cnode.sh, and that should, there we go, it's syncing and connected to the IOHK peers. And now we have to sync it all the way up to 208, and I am warning you, it's going to take some time. It might take a few hours. So once again, I'm off uh, while this is doing its thing, and yeah, sorry, I just realized the setup wasn't that great. I some of the stuff was zoomed in for some reason, so you couldn't see everything here. But hopefully that didn't matter for anything I filmed before this part. I'll yeah, uh, everything's fine. It's syncing. I'll be back once it's done. Alright, it took a while, but there we go, it's synced. So the next step is to create a wallet and to get some funds to that wallet. So let's get on with that. The way you restore funds to Shelley is by using the as far as I know, only Daedalus works. I don't think Yoroi is ready for the hard fork yet. So I'll assume that you'll use Daedalus and you'll recover your funds in a wallet in Daedalus. So I have some funds here, enough for the registration, and I'm gonna create a wallet with the CLI. I'm gonna send these funds to that wallet, and then I'll use that wallet to register the stake pool. So if we go to our CNode home and we go to scripts and we run CNTools.sh. Okay, it's going to show us what's new. Press Q to leave that. Okay, right. So we got this message that's very common for people. So basically, CNTools doesn't know which epoch is the start of Shelley. So it says, we haven't reached Shelley yet, but we know we did because we synced to epoch 208. So a lot of people get this, and the reason is that basically CNTools doesn't know, so we have to tell it. So we're gonna tell it by echoing 208 to 208 being the epoch of the start of the Shelley era, and we're gonna echo that to CNode home /database /Shelley trans epoch for Shelley transition epoch. Okay, if then we start CNTools again, it won't work because I did something wrong. Let's see what. So, okay, so let's see what we did in the database Shelley trans epoch. So CNode database ls. Now we do have the Shelley trans epoch. We don't have anything in there. It's possible that we had to quote mark the 208 for it to print. Actually, yeah, probably it's that. But okay, we can just write 208 in this file. That's all the file needs. And if we go back to CNode and scripts, and then we run CNTools again, CNTools, we won't get the error. So that's how we tell CNTools that epoch 208 is the Shelley epoch. Alright, so let's create a wallet. If we list here, okay, we don't have anything there, that's fine. If we create a new wallet, I'm gonna call it Kobe. And here is our address. We're gonna take that. Now we're gonna go back into Daedalus and we're gonna send this to the address, and we can send the full amount. So I don't know what happens with, okay, 649, that's fine, send that. Spending password, oh man, okay, give me a sec. Okay, spending password, yes, there we go. So that is sent through now, and we should go to wallet and list. It might take some time, but yeah, it's already here. So that's it. That's how we get the funds. So basically, you restore your own funds, and send them to the CLI wallet. You do need the CLI wallet to register the stake pool. You cannot do it from Daedalus. So yeah, the next step is to create and register the stake pool. So this process is pretty, very easy with CNTools, and we just go to pool, create a new pool. I'm gonna call my pool Kobe. Kobe is the name of my cat, and I'm making this pool to honor the best cat in the world. There we go. I'll just save the pool ID to have it in the notepad for later. Pool ID. I mean, it's not that you have to save it. It's you can access it anytime. But okay, we have the pool. After we have our pool, we need to register it. So this is gonna take some time to read it, but then it's gonna give us our pool, the option to register our pool that we created. So I got 649 ADA here. 500 ADA is the registration fee, which means I only have 149 ADA to work with for pledge. Actually, there's like let's say 3 ADA fee, additional fee for registering the staking wallet. So really, I have 140 something. I'm just gonna pledge 130 margin. I'm gonna set it to 0 as it's a very low pledge pool. Cost minimum. Okay, pool meta. Now this is important. You have to host your pool meta on the URL you give it. I'm gonna specify my garden pools website, and I'm gonna call this kobemeta.json. I'm not gonna create a new website for this pool. I'm just gonna link it to my Eden pool. So kobemeta.json. Okay, pool name. Let's call it meow pool. Ticker Kobe, and description: Kobe is the best cat in the world, and he loves Cardano, even though he doesn't know it. Homepage is just going to be my garden pool again, gardenpool.com. Okay, optionally set and extended metadata, no. Okay, so we got the metadata here. This is how we have to post it. Now there's a little bit of an issue with this. See, this is like a pretty print of the JSON file, and to make sure, we'll just copy it from the file and not this. So I'll show you in a second. It says, proceed once you uploaded the metadata. So let's do that. Probably it's not that big of a deal, but let's just do what it tells us, because then we know it will work. So we need to upload the Kobe meta JSON to this link. Okay. So here I actually opened another SSH connection just to keep the CNTools registration, where it was, not to exit it before we do the metadata. And I did this just to get the file. So if we go to CNode home, and then the file is going to be in private pool Kobe pool meta JSON. So if you go, okay, here this is the print as it should be. I think my notepad is a bit in the way. So one line, no spaces, and okay, let's just copy this, and that will work for the metadata. So if I change my browser, okay, so my website, I host it on GitHub Pages, and I have a repository for the website here. And see, here's my pool meta for my garden pool. And now I'm just going to create a new file here that I'm going to call copymeta.json. And I'm going to paste in the new stuff, the new JSON in here, and commit new file, and that's going to create it here, copymeta. And if I go to garden pool, copymeta.json, there, it's already there. So yeah, that's how you upload the metadata. It's important that it's in this format without any spaces or similar stuff. And yeah, now that that's done, we can go back to registering the pool. So I can just close that session that I created just for the file, and metadata is uploaded. So let's continue. Now relay, okay, I'll add a relay. I'll add my relay. Let me just get the IP address. There we go. That's the IP address for one of my relays. The port 6000. Add more relays. Not for now. Okay. I could add more, but I don't want to take time with that as it's just a demonstration. But you should have more than one relay. So the pledge wallet is our only wallet we have. Fine. Okay, wallet is not registered, so it's going to register it in the process. That's fine. And that's about it. We just need to wait for a new block. There we go, it's created. So one is probably for registering the wallet, and then the next one is going to be for registering the pool. There we go. There we go. Everything is successful. If you, for example, made a mistake in calculation here, it would tell you that your pledge is, the pledge amount is higher than what you have left in your wallet or something like that. So if it doesn't show, you don't have to worry. But if it does, you will get some information. So yeah, that's the pool registered. And now all that's left to do is confirm that it's showing on PoolTool and Daedalus, and to start our producer node. So we have our pool ID from before. We stored it here. So we'll need that. And then if we go to PoolTool and we search by our ID, we'll see that Meow Pool is here. We can pull details, and we can claim our pool here. We go to manage, claim this pool, and pool name is going to be Meow Pool. Pool URL is just kind of repeating what we already did. gardenpool.com. Metadata generator, that's, we don't need that now. Okay, metadata was checked, and if metadata last checked says here 455, that was like 2 minutes ago. And that means it's all fine. Okay, if something's wrong with your metadata, you would see it here on PoolTool. Okay, so if it just says metadata last checked, that means your metadata is fine. If there was an error, it would say metadata last checked sometime, and then last metadata error would be some error, usually a hash mismatch. So that's fine. We can check if it's in Daedalus yet. If it's not, it shouldn't be a big deal. It's not, code is not, is meow. It should show for any of these. So it will take some time. Probably I'll get back to it later in the video, and probably it will be there. So let's just leave it for now. If the metadata is found on PoolTool, it should be showing in Daedalus. So that's basically the check for it. So I'm pretty confident that eventually it will show up. So yeah, that's the PoolTool stuff. We should now start the node. And before we do that, we need to think about the topologies again. So we have a producer node, okay, and that node should only connect to your relays, and then the relay should connect to the rest of the network. Your producer node and server should be hidden. That's why I did my best not to show the IP address of the actual server that I'm using. I did show you the IP of the relay, which is okay. Nothing bad can happen. People have to connect to your relays for the network to work. So what we have to do now is configure the topology of the producer to connect to the relay and not the IOHK or any other relays. And we have to also configure the relay to connect to the producer. But that part I cannot show you because that would expose the IP of the producer. But I can show you, but the process is the same as adding the relay to the producer's topology. So you just do the same thing on your relay, add the producer to the relay's topology. Okay, let's do that. So first I'll just copy the commands for running the node and copy them to the end here. Yep, it's fine. So we need to edit the topologies, right? We go to the topology file. So it's going to be files, topology. And here we have the RHK producers, which we don't want. What we want is our own IP. So let me just grab that. So this is the IP of one of my relays. It runs on port 6000, Galaxy is 1, and I'm okay with this for now. Just going to have one relay to speed this up. I will add other relays later on. So that's fine. If we go to our session, we'll see that our node is still running with the same parameters. So we're going to kill that. Reset. Okay, so that's that, and now we can edit the CNode script. So this script is what we use to run the node, and if we just keep the script, it's useful to have a single line to run your node. Just add the pool arguments that we need to run for the pool to be able to sign blocks. So the Shelley CAS key, VRF key, and the operational certificate, and the rest is fine. So the topology file is the one we edited. So now it's going to connect to our relay. config stays the same, database is the same, everything is the same, except you need to add these files for your producer to work as a well producer. And that's that. We can run the node again. And this is another common thing that people ask, which is, oh, it's still on epoch 0, you know, we just synced it and it was on 208, now I started it again and it's on epoch 0. Well, that's because if you look at the CPU usage, you will see it's on above 100%. I don't know, it's above 100%. The disk read is also, you know, it's up there. So what that means is that the node is reading the local database that we stored when we synced. So since it's a pretty large database, it will take a few minutes, but then it will start syncing. So yeah, we can just leave it at that, come back to it a bit later, and at this point we are basically you know, done. What's important is to secure your files that are online. So for example, the wallet that we have here, that we created, okay, it has some, you know, sensitive files on here. If someone gets their hands on this, they can, you know, transfer all your data to another, well, to their account, to their wallet, and you know, your data is gone. So you want to protect this. Now, of course, I'm not very afraid of this right now because there's only like 100 data in this wallet. But imagine having you know, 100k ADA for pledge, and you know, then that's kind of exposed out there. So we want to secure it. So CNTools has a pretty good encryption thing for this, which uses the GPG, like a Linux command package or whatever, and it basically encrypts files. Okay, we got an error here. Okay, that's because our node is still reading stuff and it's not synced, so CNTools can get on with its stuff. So let's give it a minute or 10. There we go. If we just give it some time, it's going to connect. Right now it's connected to my relay, and that's fine. So now we can go to CNTools.sh, and here we have wallet encrypt. Okay, and it's going to give us a password. So there we go. Kobe is here. Kobe's here. This one's for Kobe. Look at this cat, huh? Look at him. Oh my God, what a good cat, huh? Yeah, go eat something. So this can work much like the Daedalus, like 15 words. You know, you can put a very secure password on here, and essentially it's gonna take years and years and years of brute force to break that password. So even just encrypting your wallet is pretty secure. So but you know, you need a strong password and you need to write it down. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna write down some random words and I'm gonna use that as a password. So I can't say them out loud because then you'll know, but I will just writing some words here. I got 7. Okay, I got the words. Now I'm just gonna enter them here. Oh, I didn't see this. Did Kobe press the keyword? Oh no, timer expired. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna retry. Okay, so I'm just gonna enter my words with space between them. Okay, now I'll start over again because I think I missed the space. Okay, now we confirm it. Confirm the key phrase. And there we go. It's encrypted. Good luck to anyone who tries to break this. I mean, really. If you need to use it, you just decrypt it, encrypt it again. You know, it's pretty secure. Of course, best thing would be to take it offline, not to keep it on any device that's connected to the internet. So keep it on like a USB or multiple USBs in case your USB becomes corrupt or something like that. But yeah, that's ensuring that the wallet is fine. Let me turn off the notifications. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. The wallet is secure. What's left are the cold keys. Okay, we want to get rid of the cold keys from the server, but we're gonna cover that in another video because I think this is enough on its own. So I'm gonna try to make the cold keys video with transferring files from the server and some other stuff tomorrow. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to reserve this last section for frequently asked questions that I thought it would be useful since everyone's coming to the same issues. So if we have kind of a source of information for that, I think it will be good. So I'm gonna try and do that now. I'll read what I have and I'll put it in the notepad. I got only one so far, but I'll put what I got written in my notebook now, and then we'll go through that. So let's talk about some of the common stuff that people have problems with. Number one, CNTools is telling you that the Shelley era has not been reached, but you know it has because you're on epoch 208. That's because CNTool doesn't know that 208 is the Shelley era epoch. So you need to tell it by writing 208 to the Shelley trans epoch file. Okay, we did that in this video and we fixed the issue. So that's the first one. Second one is metadata error on PoolTool. So the hash doesn't match, and well, yeah, your metadata is wrong. Like I don't know, 100% of the time, it's either wrong metadata or it's in a wrong location. So when I say wrong metadata, it might be the correct data, but in a wrong format. Like it has to be a one-liner that without spaces or anything like that. So if we actually go to PoolTool right now, here we see an example of a pool that has a metadata error, and you see hash does not match. and here is the URL that PoolTool is checking, so we can copy that. But actually, let's just go to our meow pool, which doesn't have a metadata error, and we copy the URL that the PoolTool is checking, and we'll see this is what the metadata should look like. It's a one-liner, name, ticker, description, homepage, and nuance. That's exactly how we copied it from the pool meta.json that CNTools created for us, and that's exactly how you should do it too. So if your metadata is wrong, just check your stuff. It's probably if PoolTool says it's wrong, it's probably wrong. Okay, that's that one. Number 3, I synced the node, but it's stuck on epoch 0 after restarting it. So if you sync the node before, it means the local database holds the entire chain of the mainnet, which is a pretty long chain, and it can take a few minutes to read it. So if the CPU is on 100%, it probably means that it's reading the stuff. So you should just give it some time, and it's probably going to start syncing and connecting to peers after it's done the initial local reading. But if it takes 20 minutes, and if the CPU usage already went down, and it's still not syncing, well, then you have a problem. Then there's something wrong with possibly your topology or something else. But most of the time, it's just reading the local database. Number 4, how to transfer files from and to cloud server. So a good way to do that is to use SFTP, the secure file transfer protocol, and I'm planning to make a video on that among other things soon, and you can use that to transfer your cold keys and your wallet even to your local storage and store it somewhere offline, so it's completely secure. And you can also, of course, use it when sometime in October, when we need to update our CAS keys, you can then use the SFTP to, if you're going to generate your keys offline, use the SFTP to bring them back up to the server and then restart your producer with the new keys. Number 5, pool not showing in Daedalus. So I don't know, Daedalus is a bit weird now. Basically, from what I understand and my experience is that if the metadata is correct on PoolTool, it's going to show up. It might need some time, but it's going to show up. If it's not showing and you check your metadata and there's an error, well, that's why it's not showing. Okay, so fix your metadata if there's an error. If not, just give it some time, and it should show. So 6, I don't understand pool fees. It is not really what someone told me, but people do ask about fees. So there are 2 types. There's the fixed fee, which is a minimum of 340 ADA per epoch. This is set by IOHK, and it was set in an attempt to prevent low quality pools from massively registering massively like these low quality pools. So they introduced a minimum cost that a pool should operate at to prevent that. The margin is the percent of the rewards that the pool receives from the total rewards. So if we look at an example, and let's say a pool receives let's say 1,030 ADA in rewards. that's going to mean that 340 go to the pool. So that happens first of all. The fixed fee gets taken away first. It goes to the pool, and then what's left is 1,000, and 1,000 is distributed. So 2% goes to the pool again, and 98% goes to delegators. Okay, so this is the way Eden is set up. It has a 2% margin, which means that, you know, if there's a 1,000 ADA in rewards, of those 1,000 you know, delegators get 980, and Eden gets 28. Okay, so I mean, you can see actually that the margin is very low, you know. So yeah, basically that's why people are not very happy with the current situation. There's a lot of 0% pools, and I mean, it's just, you know, stake pools, like good stake pools, you know, are a lot of work and time, and it's important to have quality stake pools for the whole Cardano project. You know, the whole network depends on the stake pools, and it also depends on people staking. But yeah, 2% margin, I think it's still okay for both the operator and the delegators. So I went with that for my Eden pool. We'll see how it goes, how things go. So that's the fees basically. And number 7, how to secure my servers. Yeah, so I'm planning to make videos on those as well, and it's going to be like changing your SSH port to another port, so it's not the most common one, 22, which attackers normally attack. And there's some other stuff. There's some other software you can use, like fail to ban. So if you get like a couple of successive attacks from an IP address, it's going to ban that IP address and not allow it to attempt authentication. Yeah, so stuff like that I want to cover. And while we're talking about future videos, I wanted to, this weekend I actually wanted to get into kind of advanced pool stuff like monitoring and this kind of security issues. But yeah, a lot of people asked for a mainnet video, so here it is. I hope that this video will now be able to serve as a kind of a comprehensive and standalone guide for anyone coming in, and that they can follow along and create a stake pool, which is really what we want. In general, we want a lot of stake pools, and that's how we get decentralization. So yeah, hopefully this brings us one step closer to that. And I think that's it. Good luck to everyone setting up their stake pool. Good luck with getting delegators. You know, delegators. Good luck with delegating. And that's it. I hope I can make another video tomorrow. This has taken pretty much all day. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Take care.